Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are looking at a reading for you for the October full moon, which happens on October 20th. So it's also called the blood moon, the hunter's moon, the sanguine moon. Take your pick. But full moons are great for releasing things. I did the new moon, which was the start of this lunar cycle. Now we are in the middle of this lunar cycle. The moon is full. And the next 2 weeks are a great time to reflect on things to let go. And the reason, we always talk about manifesting and bringing in new things, but we don't always talk about letting go. And the reason, but we should. It's important. The reason it's important is what I kept trying to say is if we don't let go of things, these are things, thoughts, people that become roadblocks to our goals, to our manifestations. So that's why it's so important. Now, this full moon is in Aries. So with the Libra, we're in Libra season. So with Libra, we've been looking at balance. We've been looking at how we fit in, we've been looking at making connections with the collective. And now Aries kind of brings that a little bit of tension back to our personal selves and kind of asks okay, where do I fit in? So that's kind of like the lens that I'm looking at this reading through, Virgo, and the energy that's around right now. And let's talk about what baggage, it can be emotional or otherwise, is our Virgo holding on to. And this was what I saw, this Two of Matches reversed. And then we've also got the Page of Matches upright. So that's really interesting. Two of Matches is something, when it's upright, it's about planning, it's about moving forward. But when we have it in reverse, we've got some hesitation here. So I feel like maybe you're not sure on which direction you want to go. And it's really interesting here that we get the page with it, because we also have a compass that you feel like you should be taking some sort of initiative, that you should be moving, that you should be exploring, that you should be discovering new things. But you've got this hold back when the Two of Matches is in reverse, that you're not quite sure on the direction, that you've got some indecision going on. So very interesting. I love that the squirrel is here in the Two of Matches. The squirrel is somebody who does plan ahead, don't they? That they have been working throughout the year so that when it does come into October, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, that they've got their stash, they've got what they need. They've been taking this long-term view. And I'm wondering if this has, this hesitation, or what you need to let go of, is this feeling that maybe you aren't fully ready for what's to come, or for the next season, for the next phase, for the next whatever. It's not uncommon for us to think about those kinds of things during this time of year. I'm not saying that you can't think about these things, but I almost feel like when we've got the Page of Matches with it, the positives aspects of this is to kind of trust your future self with future issues. Now, a page is somebody who is, people would call them a novice, like a newbie. It could be a new thing that you're looking for, or just a new cycle. It doesn't necessarily need to be that you're brand new, that you're a young person, although it could be you're teens, 20s, a young person, or even a child. Usually the page can talk about being a child, but I doubt children are watching this, because my children don't. Anyway, we'll get out of my baggage and into yours. But this is I feel like there is trust yourself, that it feels like you're kind of like questioning your overall plan. It feels like you're questioning what you've done and where you've come from, and understand that we can start anew and we can do a new beginning at any time. Don't worry about that. Whatever you've had planned before. If we go back to the drawing board, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience, and that makes a huge difference. What aspects of this energy can Virgo let go? Strength in reverse. Helplessness, insecurity, and weakness. So it's this feeling that, because I said trust your future self with future issues. It's kind of this feeling of you're not good enough, you're not strong enough. I don't want to even say these things because I don't want to like plant that idea, because it's absolutely not true. It's something that you need to let go of, Virgo. Strength talks about, there's a cycle here. We've got this snake that is in the form of an infinity symbol, that there's always cycles, there's ups and downs, right? This too shall pass. So if you have a moment of weakness or helplessness or insecurity that you feel like you're hesitating and holding back, like this is gonna pass. And I feel like the Page of Matches is kind of like, hey, let's start climbing this hill. Let's like start going back on to the top. Let's start this new cycle and let's make something of it. Strength also talks about this not being a struggle between you and the rest of the world. This is more of an internal struggle, actually. This talks about you mastering your own, I don't want to say weaknesses because I don't feel like you have weaknesses, but I feel like you need to see that. I feel like this is mastering your own thoughts, and understanding that, each of us have our own skills. And we each have our own, even like I'm looking at this seal on top of an armadillo and with balancing a ball on his nose. Like that's a very specialized skill. And you might look at that and think of a weakness because the seal isn't swimming or the seal isn't doing whatever it's intended to do. But really, they are capitalizing off of their talents, even though it's very unique. So I feel like you have like these special skills and you're looking at other people and thinking like, I wish I could do this thing that they're doing. But we need to bring it back to appreciation of the things that you're really good at and that you can do. And I feel like there's people looking at you going, I wish I was like this Virgo. So, and I think you need to see that. And how does Virgo let this go? Is any advice on how Virgo lets this go? The Sun, happiness, optimism, and authenticity. I'm focusing here on authenticity because it's being yourself. It's being happy with who you are and finding that optimism in it. I love the Sun here for you because I want you to know there's nothing wrong with you. And, questioning yourself is, everybody questions themselves, right? But don't dwell on it. Really focus on your strengths, because you have them, and let go of any insecurities because they're not important. They're not as important as you think they are. I keep going back here to this Page of Matches, the kind of trust your future self. The Sun has faith in you. The Sun trusts in you, and so does the universe, Virgo. Let's see, another card for Virgo. Interesting, self-reflection. So I use these cards on my weekly reading for this week as well, and this one came out. Self-reflection is, I think, so much, going back to the strength card and your personal strengths and what you bring to the table and appreciating yourself. I love this imagery where this lovely young lady is looking at herself in the mirror. A technique that has been coming up a lot for me, which is really weird because even though I've used this, I used it in childhood and I didn't even like connect it, put it together, that it was important. And that is talking to yourself in the mirror. This is a way for you to, you know, work some things out, let some things go, like let negativity go. You look in the mirror and you tell yourself that you're beautiful. And then you start like, it's because I feel like the sun too is like this joy that needs to come in for you, Virgo. It's like bringing in that joy and shining the light, shining the spotlight on the things that you're good at. And then all the other things kind of fall away. Like all of the insecurities fall away. All of the things that you were worried about fall away. And then we've got She Who Hopes, love, hope, relationships. Very interesting that this comes in here with relationships, because I'm not necessarily seeing relationships in other cards other than self-reflection. Often reminds me of, I think, Gemini, being related to Gemini, which is related to the Lover's card. So, but I feel like though, you know, loving yourself and being appreciative of yourself really helps and strengthens your other relationships. So it might not intuitively feel like when you focus on yourself that your partnership or your friendships or your relationships with family members or coworkers get better, but it does. So this is going forward with love and hope, Virgo. And, you know, really, I feel like it's really working on yourself and your strengths, and then other people come up with you. And that helps you find your kind of like space in the collective, because when you worry about the things that you can't do, it's kind of like, you know, because this is about, I don't want to say it's like all about harmony, and working together with other people, but it is okay for you to rely on somebody else and let them be strong in their discipline and let them accomplish what they need to do, because you are being strong in your discipline and what you're good at and your skills. And we all have different skills, and it's loving our own uniqueness. And I feel like self-reflection has so much to do with love and accepting this, you know, accepting love from yourself, and the sun as well. So I'm glad that She Who Hopes came out here with that love and relationships, because I don't feel like that you are necessarily, and it might be that you are comparing yourself to others, and that may be why you're not seeing your unique gifts, because you're looking at your neighbor and you're seeing them and what they are really good at. Maybe they play guitar and you can hear it. And you feel like, oh, I'm not really good at music. But that allows you to like really appreciate them and what they do. And I bet that you have a skill that you're really good at and they appreciate about you as well. Maybe it's cooking. Maybe they smell your cooking and they have that same kind of feeling about yourself. So these are things that you can talk to yourself in the mirror and really use that to, you know, let go of the comparison. Let go of like the negativity around that, let go of the whatever is holding you back, and let go of your insecurities. That's what we're shedding with this full moon, because we're allowing more hope and love. And you know, when you see somebody who has a skill, that you're not proficient in, that shouldn't make you feel insecure. We're shifting that thinking and we're being appreciative of them and their skill, and that builds our relationships. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you.